high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talking Catholic. I'm Jen Morrow, and with me today is Hostful! Woo! That's right. You heard it here. We are having a Hostful Talking Catholic. And for those who don't know what that is when all the hosts from our different Talking Catholic platforms come together. It is Mike Walsh's, one of his favorite episodes of the year, and he's not here.
Yep.
Where's Mike?
No Mike here today.
Nope. And, well, there is one Mike, but I guess today I'll go by my other name, Greg, which we can also talk about the origins of that on the podcast. But it's just to save for the whole bit that Mike's not here. But, yeah, we're all here. Mike is away.
It's kind of like Daddy is not home.
Well, I am mischievous in that way. So as soon as I heard he wasn't here and we needed a podcast, I said, well, let's go upstairs, break out the equipment, and do it ourselves. What's he going to do about it? He's in Atlanta.
We can do this.
We all love being here without Mike.
Let's all say who we are real quick so the listeners know who's here.
Pete Sanchez, Catholic Star Herald.
And what of the award-winning show?
Talking Saints. I apologize, Lori Power, when she listens to this, my lovely co-host. I think she's in Canada right now. So best wishes to her. Yeah.
And I'm Marianela Nunez. I am the Director of Enrollment and Outreach for South Jersey Catholic Schools.
Yes, and Mike Bress, I am the Marketing and Communications Manager for South Jersey Catholic Schools, and usually together with Marianela Talking Schools on Talking Catholic.
Also known as Greg.
Also known as Greg, correct.
Carrie Janice here, Campus Minister at Rowan University's Newman House, also the host of Youth and Young Adult Ministry Insights, and Mike's co-host here on the podcast. So happy to be here without Mike. It's so nice.
And, Carrie, we're all here in the diocesan office. Carrie came all the way from
Glassboro.
Yep, Glassboro, to come here to do this. And as Mike Walsh would say, she's committed to the bit.
I am. Sorry, Mike. You always get to travel to me, but when I do a Hostful episode, I travel to them.
Listen, and that was short notice. So thank you, Carrie.
Less than 24 hours. Here we are.
We made it happen.
We're here.
And it's really just a true Hostful. I think we're going to talk about the summer plans. We've got a lot going on collectively and a lot going on a singular basis,
Sure.
So we'll sort of do a round table around that. I think we'll start with Pete because Pete has the pleasure of getting ready to go on vacation next week, and so he's diligently trying to get some stuff done beforehand. So what do we got going on, Pete? What are we looking forward to?
No, thank you, Mike. No, all is well. I'm going to beautiful Jersey Shore with family. Every year I go, and I look forward to the seafood. I look forward to the water. I look forward to the family. There's the games. My family's having a Monopoly tournament that got brought back. And actually, I'm not playing because I love my Uncle Manny, who organizes it. He calls himself, the origins of this Monopoly tournament started about almost 30 years ago. And I remember playing as a little kid. And my Uncle Manny started it, and he inaugurated the first one, and so everybody gets the trophy. It's Manny the Shoe trophy because if anybody knows
the
Monopoly,
character?
shoe, because he was always the shoe, and I never won. Monopoly, honestly, I don't know about you guys. This is a question I'll open up. Favorite games? It's like when you're on vacation, if there's a game, mine's Trivial Pursuit. So
You would be Trivia Pursuit. Yes. That's definitely my least favorite.
Well, I don't
You're
know.
so
I'm
smart,
a trivia
Pete.
guy.
You have a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas. I have a quick question about the Monopoly, though, before
Sure.
we shoot with our favorite games. Do you play the long way or the short way? Because Monopoly can go on for hours. So
All I know is a long way. What's a short way?
You deal out the cards, and then everybody has their
that's
properties
right.
already.
Oh, no. Well, I do that.
I've never played the long way. I've
done the long way.
So
That
time
can
consuming.
get, but then with that too, you can barter. Like you can, you can swap. I do like Monopoly, and if I weren't at the beach, I would play Monopoly with my cousins and my aunts and uncles. But I don't know. I just don't want to spend my evenings worrying about. Not worrying, but play Monopoly. I kind of want to keep it open-ended. If I want to go get ice cream, if I want to go mini golfing, I like the vacation just open-ended, so I'm very much excited about that. I'm leaving in a few days, and so...
My question on that is, when do the cops show up for the inevitable domestic disturbance that occurs during a game of Monopoly? Because that's not that it may have happened at the Bress family household, but it may have happened at wars have been started.
It definitely happened at the Morrow household.
Well, I will say I was with friends in high school. We got pulled over at the beach. They thought we had things and we didn't. We were okay. I don't know why they pulled us over, honestly, but that's
we're only
a story.
5 minutes in and it's already gotten saucy.
That is a story for another time.
We have a lot of information here.
Favorite games. That's
Turns out
games.
it was just tons of Monopoly money. It was not the bank robbery.
Yeah.
No, so what? Yeah,
but they weren't yours, so technically you did steal them.
I'll ask the question then. What is everybody's favorite game? When you're on vacation, for me, it would be Trivial Pursuit or even Risk. Because I love Risk. Carrie, I have no problem playing Risk for hours.
I was going to say that's a longer.
It is a longer game. But yeah, Marianella, what game? It doesn't have to be a board game or like
Dominoes.
Dominoes.
It's our Dominican kind of like tradition. So when you have a lot of family together, there's always dominoes or cards.
Cards, yeah. So I have two. One is the Game of Life. I've been playing that forever, and I do find it hysterical, all the different things that you could be and all the life that you could have. And my kids have started, like, the other one that I like playing is that can also get quite... I'll say it violent, is the game Sorry, where you can knock, because I have two boys at home, so inevitably the pieces start flying because they have to push they can't just simply push them out of the way. It's got to be a hard shove off the board. Yeah. And then a sorry. So
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I definitely have to say that's probably, I said two, but those are the two that I enjoy the most.
Yeah, we actually don't play games when we're away on vacation. We're doing the vacation stuff down the shore, like you said, mini golf. We're more of activity kind of people. But my husband's family, when we go up to Michigan, which he actually is there right now for a family wedding, and I'm guaranteed they played this last night, Euchre, which is like a card game from up Michigan, Canada area. And early on when my husband and I were dating and I first met his family, I got like thrusted into this game, and it was very intense, and I've since have sat it out. Like, I played the first time because it was like inauguration, and that was it. Like, I do not do it anymore. But also for us, I love the Game of Life as well. That's definitely a fan favorite of mine.
And it's I don't know, have you played the newest one? So there's
I think I have an older board.
Yeah, the newest one has like the goofy stuff, like the social media influencer as a job and stuff. So
that's pretty funny.
They've upped it a little bit. I
It's
actually
not
like the
art
original.
teacher,
Yeah,
the doctor.
That's the one I remember and enjoy. But they do have sort of an updated version.
I actually want to add something though too. Our students around the Newman House, we have this here. It's kind of parodied off of Apples to Apples, but the Catholic card game.
Okay.
They love that one, and for any Catholics out there, that's definitely a fun one to invest in. The Catholic card game.
Where can you find that? I've been trying to find that game
online. They have their own website to buy it off of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody,
it's like a box set.
I'm not going to out them, but a friend of mine promised me that she'd get it for me. She actually had a copy for me, so I was all excited, and then I've never gotten it.
Hope that friend's listening.
I hope so too. I'm not going to out her though.
Ooh.
She knows who she is.
I feel like you should. You've already unveiled Uncle Manny, so might as well just.
And that you were almost arrested. So Pete,
Okay, her name is Gina. That's all. Gina, you know who you are. I remember you had game night at your house, and you played the card game, and you said that you had another one for me, and I got all excited because I really like playing it because I like Apples to Apples, and I also like the Catholic card game. So,
Gina!
I'm waiting, Gina.
Oh, Gina.
Poor Gina. Oh, Gina, come on.
I feel like we
do it.
accidentally just opened up a really sad space for Pete, so it's a good thing that he's just here for a little while.
Away from me.
Jen, your favorite game?
Well, as previously mentioned, Monopoly is really not allowed in my household. We actually have some really good friends that we travel with. They refuse to play that with us anymore because of how ugly one time it got. Somebody may or may not have slept on the couch that night, just saying. So we stick with Settlers of Catan, if you know that one.
Yeah.
We're
That's
big
a big
Settlers
one around
of
the Newman
Catan.
House too. Yeah.
Big fans of that. And then just like the classic like Bananagrams, which I think is like Scrabble for stupid people because I'm not a good person with like big words, says the writer. But that's Pete. Pete's that person in the office for us. So bananagrams, I'm pretty good. Like if I get a 5-letter word in bananagrams, I'm feeling pretty smart.
The trouble
That's
with that.
so weird,
Yeah.
Jan.
I
I
know.
would not expect that.
I hate playing Scrabble. I get completely like, everybody's going to expect me to have big words because I'm a writer. And I'm like, it might be the panic. I might freeze up.
I was going to say
You're
that's
such a good writer.
That's the hard part for me because that's probably my wife's favorite game is Bananagram. She's a teacher. She plays that with the kids. She's got like packs of them, and we play it. But I start to panic because I don't remember peel and like the terms when you have to dump and all of the. So I just start getting frantic and I don't know which one I have to do and then I'm just a boat is the word I found. Like it's just like,
Yeah, and then once you get a cue, it's like every word that you could possibly know with the cue goes out of your mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got nothing.
yeah.
But I was just going to say real quick, if you, I play this game a lot with my nephew who's 10. It's called Blocus. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
It is a great game for kids and adults who are children are trapped in an adult body. It's basically, you can have 4 people.
Are you one of those?
Maybe. Asking for a friend. It's basically kind of like Tetris, except it's on a board, and so everybody has to use all your pieces up by but it's flat,
Puzzling
so it's
them
not you're not
together.
going up like Jenga. And my nephew is so good at it, so it's really good for kids.
I like Jenga.
I was going to say, Mike, the game, you're talking about the
Bananagrams,
the game, for some reason, you're talking about the anxiety that you got.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you remember the game Perfection.
Yes.
That always,
that's
the anxiety,
awful.
like, I have nightmares of that game.
Let's add
because-
Operation to the
Yes,
anxiety
yes.
games
Oh
as
my
well.
God. Yeah, those were not fun. So,
No.
memories of those.
They were fun in
That's
their
why
own
all
way,
of us, have anxiety as adults from playing the game of Perfection and
Yeah, we
Operation.
should-
Listen,
What is the
after this
bad things?
podcast, I have to say I'm gonna go back and listen. I'm gonna write down all these names, and I'm gonna find out what the games are about because I don't know most of what you're mentioning. Can you believe that?
Well, if you think about it, if you don't know the game's perfection and life, then you're doing if you think about, we're trained as children for stress, perfection, and the game of life.
Yes.
That's why you're so happy, Mariana.
Yeah.
That's why you're so happy
You
and
played
uplifting.
dominoes and
played
cards.
dominoes.
That was,
You play dominoes and
Yeah.
cards the way
Yeah,
God
the train.
intended.
And outdoor games.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you have to head out, Pete, but we were glad that you jumped in for an audio bomb.
No, thank you. Thank you. Is it all right if I say a little bit longer?
Yeah, please.
No, I mean, I'm just...
You're the one who said you had to go, so you can stay as long as you
I mean,
want.
I'm just I love this
See, this is what
conversation,
I-
so
yeah.
I might step out in a bit, but I can stay a little longer. I
Yeah,
really
please
enjoyed
do.
talking with y'all.
I'm good.
So basically, the only person who's not invited to stay is Mike Walsh because
Yeah.
he's not here, which we
And-
didn't mention where he is.
Did I not say he's in Atlanta?
He's in Atlanta.
Is he
for-
working or pretending
is.
to be working?
Marianella said that one.
We're going to see a beach picture with shoes.
Shoes.
Could
Yeah.
somebody insert
Stay
those
tuned.
cricket noises? Like, kind of want to answer that.
I saw a good picture of him, like sharing, the stage with a few. Not the stage. He just
Like
took
a photo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
of his colleagues in the board of the National Catholic
Is it
Media
Catholic Media
Catholic
Association.
Media Association. He was caught in a group photo in a smiling,
Yes.
not standing
He
off
was
to the
smiling.
side. We were all thought immediately it must be a body double, but no, it was indeed Mike Walsh.
Yeah.
So, Mike, we know you're listening. I hope you're having a great time in Atlanta.
You look happy.
This is his first year on the board.
Yep.
Correct?
He's
And
on the
then-
board for the
and then-
Catholic Media
yep.
Association.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. So hopefully he will come back with, great tips about Catholic media, best practices that he's learning from coworkers, and just having a good time.
So Pete, while we still have you, so what's another must-have on the shore? Like what's a must-have during the time that you're there that you have to do, or you have to go to a specific place?
Well, I go to Long Beach Island. That's a favorite of mine. One of the things I've really loved over the years, period, are lighthouses. My immediate goal, and then maybe expand it, visit all the lighthouses on the Jersey Shore. And but there's Old Barnegat Lighthouse. If you get a chance, go there. That's phenomenal. But also another big thing is beach reading.
Oh,
So I
there
know,
you go.
like you and I were talking about beach
Yes.
reading. I'm bringing this book, St. Augustine on the Road to, I forget what it's called. I have it right here, actually. It's On the Road with St. Augustine, a real word spirituality for restless hearts. Always need a beach read and always need the lighthouse.
I like that.
That's kind of cool, Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be an interesting thing for somebody walking by and seeing the different books that are on the beach, and then one is about St. Augustine. There's probably not a lot of people taking their time to read about St. Augustine, so good on you on that.
And that's kind of cool because he had that dream with the boy on the beach, St. Augustine. Was it?
I don't remember.
About the Trinity, and he was trying to explain the Trinity. He was grappling with the Trinity, and he had a dream, and the boy was on the beach, and he was filling up the bucket of water from the ocean and dumping it in a hole, and he kept going back and forth, and he said, "Little boy, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm trying to empty all the water from the ocean into this hole." And he said, "That's impossible. You're never going to do that." And he said, "Neither are you going to understand the Trinity." And so it was like God's way of like revealing to him about the Trinity being a mystery. As we know, it's taught as a mystery. And so that's really cool that you're at the beach reading a book on St. Augustine.
That is, and I like that he
What a
was
connection.
okay. Yeah. He was okay with not knowing and just enjoying the journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, now we got you on the mic. What are you up to this
Here
summer?
I am.
What's
All
going on
right.
at Rowan,
The
too?
mic's on me. Okay, so I'm a rising junior, as I tell people, in the world of college, because I've been now 2 years complete at Rowan University, or back at Rowan University.
Yay! Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And it's good. And any year in ministry, when you hit that third year, you kind of feel like, okay, I understand it. I know what's going on. I got my groove down. And going into year 3 is always like that sweet spot in ministry. I can harken back to my years in youth and young adult ministry, hitting that. So, yeah, so year 3. And what we've done is a little like summer schedule. It's like a light schedule for the students because we do have a fair amount of commuters. We do have a fair amount of locals that are in the area that still want to engage in ministry. And I don't want to just cut it off for 4 months and just stop. Which you can do, and for some ministries, it's in college ministry, it's based that way because they have a fair amount of people that just live on campus and go all the way home. And we do have some of those students. We have one out in Colorado. We have a couple up in North Jersey. One's doing an internship in Kansas. So a lot of them are away, and we won't see them for 4 months. But there are this group that is around and hungering for the community. So we have a light schedule. We have adoration once a week still. We have the house. I have the house open daily since semester has ended in May. I also have some different social events that we do, special events. We're going kayaking, we're going paintballing, we're going to a local carnival.
Can I just join that group? I love it.
It's fun. We do a lot of great stuff. And
I'm
really
still young.
Yes, you can. And I go on all of these. Trust me, I enjoy it. So we do have a light schedule of a special events, spiritual things to do, engage in. So that work has continued, but really for me, I take a good chunk of time off that I am just off in the summer and with my family, and that was really a big motivation for being in campus ministry was that time off that I discussed with my pastor and the hiring committee that I would really desire. And so I was able to kind of negotiate to be able to have some time off in the summer. So I'll have 6 weeks off starting next week where it's just a clean break for me. I mean, the phone is still going, our group message is still going, but I am not at the Newman house. The house is closed. The fish is put to one of the students so they can take care of it, and everything is shut down there. We even removed the Blessed Sacrament from the chapel because we really, for protection of the Blessed Sacrament, so that will happen after adoration today. So 6 weeks will start next week, and I'll be doing just things with my son, enjoying family time. We have a vacation down the shore as well in Wildwood for a week, which we're excited about. We also will do a lot of day trips. I volunteer for a week at my parish's vacation Bible school. I'm the art teacher. Love doing that, so that's fun. And I still continue things with my business on the side too. So I have a lot of events during the week as well that come up for summer events. So yeah, just keeping busy. Like I do not know how to sit still, it's all planned out. Like I literally have a list in my phone, things to do over the break. I get stuff around my house. It's stuff that I need to get ready for, but it's nothing to do with work, which is nice to kind of just shut off and stuff. But kind of like Pete, you're kind of like these last few days, like you want to get to a good spot before you, especially for me, before I have that time off, because when I come back in August, it's intensity straight through December. Like it's college student life. It really is. Like they get that great chunk of time off, but when they come back, you're on really hard. So I really do try to remember to kind of relax, take it in, enjoy the time with my 6-year-old, and that's me. That's what's going on.
You know what I love about our campus ministry is that, you're saying you're going to take, the 6 weeks off. But I know just from seeing the active ministry at the school that we're going to see on social media any students that live in the area still doing things, doing Saints and Scoops or Scoops and Saints with Father Gallagher, or being involved in the parish, because they are that's how they are. They live their faith, and not just at Rowan, but at Rutgers Camden and Stockton down in Galloway. It's just you guys are always active. All of this campus ministries, they instill that in, and you're like, okay, the campus minister is gone, but we're going to continue that.
Yeah. Well, your faith doesn't turn off in the summer. And I will say, for me, I remember being in college and going home, and there wasn't really a big young adult presence at the time, at least in the Archdiocese of Newark, where I was from. And then my parents had later moved to a new location, which was in a new diocese, the Diocese of Patterson. And I felt totally unconnected for 4 months. And I was like, what do I do? It was really hard to kind of find my footing in my faith. And so I do not want that for our students. So I even see some of our students that are about an hour away. They'll travel down for some of the special events because it's worth the hour to have that community time with their peers that they've loved so much during those 15 weeks of the semester. And now it's like, oh man, all this time off, where do I go? Where do I find my young adult ministry group? And if they're not connected to one, they're still hungering for it. So we don't want to see that stop. We don't want to see their faith kind of be dried out in the summer, go through a little spiritual dryness. So I really do stay connected. And thankfully, we have social media. We have these things called cell phones with group messages and stuff. So it doesn't really end. The prayer requests continue to roll in. The conversations continue to still thrive in those community settings of the internet. And it's really beautiful to see that happen for our students and that, because like I said, I didn't have that, and I remember that being a tough time in the summer to keep my faith alive. And then it was I can't wait till September. It's going to be back. We're going to be at Newman again, and you're in this little Catholic bubble setting for them. Yeah. So I want to create as best as possible, equip them. And one of the things I really love about St. Bridget's University Parish and the Newman Center is that connection with the parish life, because the parish life never stops. It's year round. It's all the time, 24/7, 365 there's always a community at your home parish. So they have that connection. They know they have that there, especially the locals, so that they definitely come to our parish because they know that's their home, that's their community. So that's something I really love about being in this setting of the university parish, to be able to kind of give them that and let them have that community of faith even when I'm not there. So I just came from daily mass today. There was 3 students there today at daily mass, which was so nice. That's great to see them still going to daily mass and still being involved in the parish, and that's why I love going there for mass as well, because I get to see the students even when the semester's not happening. And
given that Rowan has always been traditionally a local university, there's definitely kids from all over the place there, but it's that helps, I think, a certain factor. I live now, when I was growing up, I lived I think 3 or 4 miles from campus, so that was one of the reasons I actually didn't go to Rowan.
I hear that.
Because my parents were like, well, you should go experience, and I ended up in your neck of the woods. I was in Jersey City at St. Peter's College.
That's where my husband went for his first year.
Okay, and that same thing that you felt was for me, because there was it's another commuter school, so most of the kids, you were so close with the kids on campus because everybody else was gone. Right. And then you come home for the summer and that's all sort of lost, and there's no resource. And it was, instant messenger maybe, in the summertime. This is Facebook, I don't think was out until my sophomore or junior year of college. So, there was that break. So that's really nice that there's something for the kids to kind of still connect with each other.
Yeah. And it's definitely a different pacing, which I also like. It's kind of nice, but at the same time, it's still there. It's still present.
Since we're talking about young people, it just reminding me that, since we're talking about summer, and there's actually a really big youth fest coming up at St. Catherine Drexel Parish.
Yeah, we're going to be present at that, actually. We're going to have a table. Are? Yeah.
Then maybe you should tell me more about it, because all I know about it is from Pete's article. But so basically it's St. Catherine Drexel. I think it's called the Dream On Youth Festival, and it's going to be on July 19th from 5 to 9 p.m. At the church campus in Egg Harbor Township. and the event is open from youth ages 13 all the way up to college age, which now I understand why they're going to be there at college age. And the cost is I think like $10 to $15, but it includes access to everything, all the games, and it's basically being youth run, if I understand that, and organized. It was all organized by the young people at St. Catherine Drexel, if I'm right.
That's correct. Yeah, Millette is the youth minister there, and she does a great job. Her and I have worked together side by side as youth ministers for many years, and she reached out and said, hey, would you like to have a table here and you could put on a game or event? I said, well, I have a cotton candy machine.
Of course you do.
And I said that, and she's like, absolutely. So if you want free cotton candy, stop by the Rowan Catholic table. 2 of our students will be there handing out the cotton candy. Yep, it's going to be great.
Wait, why did we not find out about this in the first 3 minutes? Why is it 25 minutes later that we're finding out that Cara Genius has her own cotton candy machine?
Listen, things will continue to come out during this whole episode. I'm sure we'll learn more.
It'll be revealing.
Yes. So that's me. That's what's going on.
All right. Well, talking about youth, we got Marianella, who works in... You like that? That was a transition.
That was a good transition.
Transition.
Because she is the youngest person in our office,
and also
she deals with children.
She's just the youngest person. Like, yeah, I know. And you were like, I'm not old yet. And I'm like, you're not old yet. I think I'm 20 years older than you.
Well, it's because the tap. Remember when we have like tap Catholic on tap. It was
theology on tap.
Theology on tap. Yes.
Let's bring that back, by the way. That was one of
I was really excited when that came out, and I attended a couple of those, and then I was like, shoot, I'm like over the age bracket, which is 33, and I'm over that. So
I think youth is described. It's either on the USCCB website or the Papal website up to age 39.
Did they up that now? Because
it's always been 30. It's been 39.
I was about to say
I remember going to
I'm over it because I remember hitting 40 and being like, no longer a young adult.
I remember going to the Fifth Encuentro a couple of years ago in Texas with Bishop Sullivan, and I was very excited because they picked the young adults to go and meet with different bishops, and so I made it to that group, and there were a couple of people in our delegation that couldn't make it because they were not young.
They said 33. They said 33.
They said 33.
So how old are you now?
36.
What?
Well, in my eyes,
I
39.
Thought you were 29.
You're good.
I love it, Jen.
Yeah.
Good news. I'm not 20 years older than Marianella.
News break, everyone. We find out so much on these.
We know your math
my
is kind
goodness.
of off,
Yeah,
Jen,
true.
We'll have to put that up on the. Well, you would have to count it with your fingers.
So per the Diocese of Camden, we are going to increase that to 39. And so now I'm still young.
Young adults.
Yes, young adults.
Yep. You're youthful.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
Yeah. And I work around children all the time, and our schools.
In the diocese or in the schools?
Well, she does work with me.
Let's keep it to the schools.
So yeah, although I'm older than her, I am a child.
So that keeps me energized as well. So it's a good stuff. Like I think now. I'm still doing enrollment reports and, getting counts of how many students are coming in for next year. And that's, a big part of my job during the summer. It's like, throughout. And I think more important than ever now because we're trying to make sure that we get to our goal for the 24-25 academic year. And so what I do now is to support those schools that still, are not there yet. And trying to work with them to see how we recruit and also retain families that still have not made the decision to come back. And usually some people wait until later on to make those decisions, but this is not late, people. So if you haven't done that, please go ahead.
And we should say that it might be surprising for people to hear that our office is pretty busy in the summer. Although the schools are closed, our principals are in every day pretty much. There's definitely summer hours.
Fridays are usually
a little bit later or half day, but I remember my first summer here. I thought I was going to get so much done because the schools are closed. I don't have to go to events. I don't have to, and those 6-8 weeks go by so incredibly fast because we still have meetings, we still have planning things, we still, you're still collecting numbers. We're trying to do, update all of the rules and regulations stuff, testing. I mean, all of us are doing
and the planning for next year.
For the next year, and it just comes up it in a snap. I mean, it was so wild that it was back. So.
Yes, we're still working on our end of the year celebration for our advancement directors, which is coming up next week, and I'm very excited about. We have a surprise for our advancement directors as far as what that day is going to be like, and Jen knows a little bit about it. We won't tell. Mike knows too. Carrie, I'll tell you later.
I won't tell my best friend who is an advancement director.
Please don't tell Jackie.
Who works with you. We like to shout out a lot of people.
Anyway,
no monopoly. No, not at all. So that's exciting. And I'm also going to Seattle for a conference, which I was invited to be a speaker on, to the Archdiocese of Seattle. So I'm very excited about that.
Seattle, Washington?
Yes.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
What will you be speaking about?
Latino enrollment.
Very good.
And I think, and we'll do a little bit of Latino overall, but my main goal would be speaking about Latino enrollment and how to engage families.
Yeah, we have
congrats.
Marianelle and I have a wonderful network of other enrollment and marketing and communications folks across other dioceses that work specifically in schools offices like ours that we meet once a month, roughly, I think, right? About once a month. And one of the folks who was on this podcast actually as a guest is she's the marketing and communications person for the Archdiocese of Seattle, and she runs this conference.
Yes, and we follow. I mean, at least I do in terms of what Seattle does. They do beautiful work, enrollment and marketing wise, and so it's kind of like a good partnership there. I'm very excited.
I want her budget, at least for her creative budget, because she makes a packet of things. For Catholic Schools Week.
It was beautiful.
She doesn't do any of the NCEA themes. It's all her own thematic stuff, and she sends the ADs these great packets of bookmarks and door hangers and just all kinds of stuff. She was a former teacher.
Very creative.
So she's very, very creative. Yeah, it's a great thing. But Marianelle is the star of the conference, as I understand it. So.
Oh, stop
Will
it.
you be bringing your own cotton candy machine?
I don't think I can do that. The planes are very strict about their baggage.
It's like a 40-pound baggage limit. You ain't gonna get that on the plane.
Yes. Well, and I'm also excited about the summer and kind of going to the Jersey Shore. I don't usually stay. I'm a kind of day trip kind of person. We go and then we do day trips around New Jersey. Maybe there will be a trip to Florida. We're kind of developing that right now because the kids want to get into a plane. So, and we're saving vacation time because I'm going to Greece in September. So that's my 2 weeks vacation.
That's a nice
one.
For
you. Where in Greece are you going?
Santorini, and we're gonna be on a cruise, so we're gonna see different places, and Turkey as well.
Oh, nice. Is that family or just you and your hubby?
It's me and my hubby.
Nice, even better.
Dropping off the kids at the first day of school and then not coming back.
I don't know if you've done it yet, Carrie, but leaving my kids for such a long time, this would be the first time. So I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I think a weekend. A long weekend was the most we did for our 15th anniversary. And we were in the States. I was like, all right, if I need them, I can drive a car there.
Yes.
We're South Carolina. But
my
good
kids,
for you going overseas.
My kids are 7 and 9 now.
Yeah, so a little older.
They're a little older. I think they would manage with, family around.
Sure.
But, it's nerve-wracking a little bit.
Yeah. You'll be all right. I have a question for you, though. You're from Dominican Republic, correct?
I am.
So how is the Jersey Shore for you compared to, that has to be such a downer because I've been to DR and it's beautiful. Yeah. So it's you go to our beach and you're like, nope.
Yeah, well, one of the things is I go to the beach here just to sit down and relax and feel the sand. I don't like the water, and I don't like the look of the water.
I can agree. You can't see your feet.
We can't see our feet, and even my daughter now, she's like, "Can we go to Punta Cana?" My niece, actually, her name's Camila. Her mom said, like, we're going to the beach, and she goes, what do you mean, the Dominican Republic, right? She's like, no, not really. We're going to the shore here, and she's like, oh. And she's like 7 years old. She already knows.
She gets it.
But I like the breeze, the relaxation. I think the kids enjoy playing with the sand. But when we go to the Dominican Republic, they actually, really get wet and get into the waters. And I do as well because the water is warm. Another thing, it's like the water is still cold and it's so hot, and I don't like that.
Yeah. No,
you're right, Karen.
It's very fair.
Let's go to the Dominican Republic.
That's why we need the day trips. The day trips are like, it's not even worth a whole week at the shore. It's a day trip.
Yeah. So and if I think we should do a show in Punta Cana for Talking Catholic, and we can really make that a very Catholic show because the Dominican Republic is a very Catholic country. So. Is there a budget for that?
Well, I think next June,
a good one.
Mike will be in Phoenix, so why don't we regroup the Hostful for Dominican Republic?
Oh, I like that.
We're going on site. I like it.
I'm sure Pete's going to say yes to that, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you certainly don't want to go to Phoenix in June. I can
120 degrees.
Good luck with that, Mike, staying in your shirt and tie for that. I have been there for that. It is not pleasant.
Yep.
Wonderful town, not pleasant.
What about you, Mike? What are you up to this summer?
Well, so just got off of the end of the year, which included attending all of the diocesan high school graduations, which was a wonderful experience. Definitely by Friday, I was exhausted, but enjoyed it. We had a great, honestly, 5 wonderful graduations. The speeches were great. I love all of the different traditions that each of them have, so it's fun to watch each of the traditions. I'm a sucker for a bagpipe, and a couple of the schools have someone walking them in for a bagpipe music, so I'm already locked in for that. Bishop Sullivan was wonderful. His homilies were great for the kids. We actually had a couple of people that we knew at each of them. Our office manager, Lisa Loria's daughter, graduated, heading out to
Congrats, Gianna!
Yeah. So she was. We got the chance to watch her graduate. We have a couple other staff members, Camden Catholic, Paul VI, that had students there. So that was really cool to actually have connections. But that following Monday, I was glad to be done.
Back to normal.
Be in my office for a bit. But I, like Pete, am heading on vacation next week. So we are headed to Williamsburg, Virginia for
cool.
Busch Gardens and Water Country USA and a couple other things. So other than that, I'm not sure because we took the dive to get a puppy on over Easter.
He did it.
And she's wonderful, but as we were saying at the dinner table last night, my niece and a couple of my nieces and nephews came over for the pool yesterday, and they said, "What's the dog's middle name?" And we don't have a middle name. They gave their dogs middle names, and so we said,
"That's
well,
kind of weird."
Yeah.
So cute.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, apparently it's the names that they had from the
backup name.
Yeah, the name that they had when they adopted them, and so they changed the names once they adopted them, but they kept them as their middle name.
Nice.
It's not like the first street you lived on combined with the first name of your best friend.
Yeah, exactly. So my wife just said, well, the other thing we call her is Psycho. So because she can be a terror, a little crazy sometimes. But so we have her going to a little puppy or dog, sort of like retreat place while we're gone. And if that works out, they have like day trips you can do. So we're really hoping that works out, because then we can actually go for extended periods. Because she's at that stage, we can't leave her for more than a few hours at any given time. But this week we're going down there. I'm attempting, and I'll say it on this podcast, there is a water slide. I love water slides. I love water parks. There's a water slide at Water Country USA. There's one down in Wildwood too, and I've done this one.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
That goes almost 90-degree drop.
Ooh,
so
my
it's
stomach dropped.
higher at Water Country USA. I have been told I am not allowed to go on it.
Why?
Because I'm
safety
old.
concerns.
As I've been told, I'm too old for that sort of thing, and I have children.
Don't listen to the naysayers.
Who told you that?
Don't listen to the naysayers.
I told them last night, if you don't see me for a period of time, that's where I am. I'm in line, and you can't stop me.
Mike, if you like that, you need to go to Camelback's Aquatopia.
I've heard of it, yeah.
It's that, but hear me out. It's the straight down, but this is what they do. They put you in a chamber.
Yes.
And then they release the bottom, and then you go down.
Oh, no.
So it's like not even like get on and go down. It's like the anticipation of the chamber floor coming out.
Yeah.
I look at it, and I just
Did
like
you
go
do
into
it?
No, I go... 20 years ago I would have, but Carrie's brain has changed over the past 20 years to claustrophobia. I don't do the enclosed slides anymore. It's very limited, the water slides I do. I'm a risk taker in a lot of ways, but not with water and slides and that kind of stuff.
I've done a similar one to that where they like kind of put you in there and then you just sort of drop.
No.
I can't. Well, I say I can't, but again, I'm sort of a large child when I do this stuff. Is the roller coasters and stuff, given my age, have been tougher.
Yeah. I'll do them. I'll do them.
I'll do them.
You feel it. You feel it. You're like, oh, why did I do that?
And my kids are at the age where they're ready to do some of those more extreme ones, and so the water slide one is like my chance to be a little bit more risky because I can't do.
Come on, kids, let's go down this.
Your mom's over there. Let's go. Quick before she looks up from the cooler. But so that should be fun. We're really looking forward to that. The last time we went, the kids were a little bit younger. They're 10 and 12 now, so they're really
perfect.
at the stage where they can swim now. They can. They want to do the little bit more fun time, rides and stuff. And there's some stuff along the way that's there. There's a go-karts that my son's really interested in doing. There's a zoo with one of the largest spiders in the world. That I don't know. I don't know why.
The extreme vacation for the Bress family.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of adventure.
Yeah, so we're gonna go do that. I may not look at it because I don't need that in my nice
Do you
years,
have a list like the ones you make, the shorts, the squares?
Oh, you mean like of where we've been?
No, I mean of what you're doing that week.
No, for my list, yes.
Like the
Mary and I
checklist.
was talking about my own checklist that I have in my office. No, that I leave that to the wife for that one. I'm more organized here than I am at home. Just tell me where to go.
Are you the driver?
Yes.
You're the navigator.
I will share this story because it's apropos of what we're talking about. But the last time we went down, I drive almost the entire way. Mm-hmm. This particular time, I was a little bit tired as we were getting into close to the town. And so my wife took over, and we were about less than half a mile from the hotel. And there was a dramatic change in the speed limit on the road we were on from 45 to 35. So it was a speed trap. And
out-of-state plates.
As we were rounding the corner, we got pulled over, and I have not let my poor wife live that down. So I say the reason I have to drive now is because she's already wanted in the state of Virginia, and we can't have her be pulled over again. So so I do the driving. We've got tunes. We've got we do the license plate bingo thing every state you go and trying to find different license plates. So it'll be fun. And then after that, I've got a lot of planning to do for the new school year. I always try to look at what we've done, what we can do differently or better. We want to do a lot of storytelling this year. We have great schools. John, our colleague John Kalitz and I are very big on video. And we did some this year with our schools, and we want to do more. So I'm working with John on that. John's been doing producing the Joyful Disciples brilliantly, and I told him I want to do something like that, but on a slightly smaller scale, because I don't know that I can dish out as much content as he's been able to do with that. But in a way, we're going to do some stuff around that, so planning for that. And one of my other sort of loves is, and Marianella knows this well, but is sports. And so I am helping our schools look at their sports programs, specifically the elementary schools.
They're really good. Yeah.
So,
I see the need for that for sure.
Yeah, I've coached for a couple. Yeah, I've coached for a couple of years. I've worked with the AD at
Rob Logan.
Yeah, Rob Logan.
He's a great guy.
Saw him on Monday. Really good guy. So having some fun with that. I feel like that's Dr. Watson, our superintendent of schools and our boss. It's sort of his way to thank me for my other work is to give me an assignment that I'm passionate about.
That's good.
And say, here, you could play with the sports for a little while kind of thing. So
there's been a change in the last few years, and I think it's the rise of a lot of traveling teams competing for these younger students when it was only just play at your school, maybe play in town for the rec. Now it's everything everywhere, and a lot of the school sports are suffering because of that, and we need some kind of revitalization for especially those middle school years for some of those sports that are so key in developing good character in a lot of ways, and it's simple but effective and good competition. So definitely revive that. That's a need for sure.
And training for coaches and for the advancement. We say
athletic
ADs.
directors.
Yeah, we say ADs for advancement directors, and I have to switch that in my mind every time because I grew up with athletic directors as ADs, but and because they're all volunteers a lot of the time, and
you're looking at one right here.
Yeah,
I am the co-ed kindergarten and first grade soccer coach.
There you go.
For
God bless you for that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And we really talking about sports, diocesan softball.
Oh my gosh, just coming off a tough loss last night. I don't know if we want to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Not really that tough, but I mean. Yeah.
If you go to a diocesan softball game, you will see Carrie
It's intense. Sports are also my passion, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. It's definitely a huge passion of mine, and I'm so glad to fuel it through the diocesan softball league and coaching in the sports as well.
I love it, and it's it's a neat. We joke in our office. I sort of took it on partially because I was frustrated with the amount of teams that won a championship in the basketball season one year, not just not knowing the structure, and it was all in jest, but then it became a reality that there's just things that we should look at, and like you said, the years have changed, the rules haven't. People have changed, the rules haven't, or the structure hasn't, and our schools have changed. The numbers have changed.
Yeah.
The availability for people to do that. I mean, I had, and you say the rise of these traveling teams and the AAU emphasis, but it's also on multiple sports. I mean, this was my own generation, and my kids right now. I've kept this for them is you played one sport a season, if that, and sometimes you took a season off, because it was nice to have a break. And now you have kids, God love the parents, but you have them going to, I have my assistant coach who I played golf with over the weekend. He tells me two or three different sports that they're in one season. And I love the guy, but I'm like, you're exhausting talking about that. I mean, how do you keep it straight? How does he keep it straight? I'm all for them trying different sports, but give them a break because they're kids, and for me, and so it's a lot. So that has to be looked at. Again, our enrollment numbers have to be looked at as compared to what the sports can bring out. So it's a fun little thing for me to do. So I'm excited for that, and then we'll blink and
it'll be September.
Yeah,
I just feel it's here almost.
Jen and I will be talking about the back to school issue and where we can get stories and things. So.
Yeah.
Comes before. So
think about that, Jen. And why don't we transition to that, talking about stories for the Star Herald. We have the editor here. Jen, what about your plans for the summer, and what are you up to these days?
Well, kind of like you said, you always think that summer will be the downtime because we publish every other week. I'm like, great. But man, those weeks come up fast. And so we have a 28-pager coming up, and I'm going to say 26 pages of it are local news, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's
and then, of course, as we get closer to September, we'll have Bishop Williams joining us as the coadjutor of the diocese, and there'll be a welcome mass for him in September. But before all that, what do I have going on? So let's see. July, I have a friend coming to visit from Germany.
Oh, nice.
I think I talked on the podcast before. I went to Germany for Easter.
Yes.
Yes.
We have friends there. I used to live there, and so that when we were still there, she's like, you know what? I haven't been to America since I was 17, which was like 40 years ago. I don't know. Mike has already alluded to the fact that I don't do math.
Maybe
so
it was
I don't
20.
know. It could have been 20.
Carry the 4.
Yeah, Mike actually walked into my office the other day, and I was counting on my fingers. He goes, doing math? I'm like, yeah, actually I am. I'm a word person. Yeah, so she's coming in July for a week, so that'll be really good. Yeah, like I said, when we were in Germany, she had booked her flight to America while I was still in Germany because she was so excited.
Perfect. Is she staying with you at your house? You have the week off? You're kicking her around?
I took that week off.
Nice.
And she, they're pretty landlocked where she is. Where Bavaria is in Germany, so a couple hours to get to the nearest ocean. So all she wants to do is go to the beach. And she was so cute. She's like, well, the water won't be cold, right? Like, it'll be at least 70, 75,
just take her
right?
to Punta Cana.
And I was like,
I advise you. If you want something local to Puerto Rico.
yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell her that, it's not going to be 80
October.
degrees. Exactly.
When it's warm.
Exactly. So that should be good. And, I was going to say don't judge me, but you can judge me because I don't care. I cannot wait for August. I'm going to New Kids on the Block.
Yes! I'm so happy to hear this.
You should have seen those faces.
Of course you can come. I'm actually going alone.
I will come.
Oh my
What's the
gosh.
date? Tell me where.
August 15th. Yes.
We're off.
I know.
It's a holy day.
I wasn't going to say the date because...
Well,
the assumption.
It's a holy day. And it's, a holy day because it's New Kids on the Block. There's a couple different layers to why it's a holy day.
I'm in.
Okay. They're at the Man in Philly, and I got my ticket.
Tawny Wahlberg.
So I'm very excited. The last time I saw them was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, actually, I saw them about probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
It was the mixed tour tape. Right? Mixed tape tour.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. One of them I saw with my cousins and my sister, and we had a blast.
That's gonna be great.
I love
DJ Jazzy Jeff will be there as well, and Paula Abdul.
Yes,
so
this is a lineup.
Yeah, this is a lineup.
It is a lineup.
So, I always work August 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
Because of the Wedding of the Seas, the Blessing of the Seas.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 14th.
I will be there on the 14th.
my obligation mass in. I'll be ready to go for NKOTB at night.
I cleared that date already. I was like, okay. So
Marianella's on Wikipedia right now looking up New Kids on the Block.
Literally.
She really is on Google looking up their photos.
This is another reason why we should
don't judge
video
them on what they look like.
Thank you for being mentoring me into the culture of the U.S.
Yes.
here. I'm still learning.
Listen, they were my first concert in 2nd grade. And my parents got floor seats.
Holy moly.
And we still, to this day, we were just talking about this. We're like, Mom and Dad, how did you do that? Like, you must have saved. It was like a lot of money, and we had floor seats. And I remember being so psyched for it. And we made posters. And
did you go see them in a stadium? Because back then, that's all they were playing. I think
it was
really.
up at Giant Stadium. I'm pretty sure, because that's where we were from. I'm pretty sure
your
that's
ears
where
still ringing because there is nothing like a high pitched scream of a tiny child girl.
Oh, I was thinking of Jordan's high pitch.
That too.
But I remember
we were screaming. Yeah,
and I was a young girl, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing as ear piercing as the screams of a young girl.
Yes.
Like that high pitched, and also
a squeal.
Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan.
And Jordan's pitch.
I go as far as the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, that's okay. It's generational.
Yeah, New Kids actually, paved the way.
I was in high school when they were out, I like them too.
I'm just envisioning this afternoon, in my office, and I just hear a Spotify playlist of New Kids on the Block coming out of Marianella's office.
Thank you.
Yes, I will be listening, and I'll be like, why are they so excited about these bands?
All the listeners, by the way, was like, oh, somebody ran off the road when Carrie screamed just now.
I'm so sorry. That just hit a part of my heart that is so tender.
Thank you. I'm so I love it. Tear in my eye.
That's great.
So,
Jen, I knew why we always get along. We are so on the same page with so many things.
As we say, it's being a child at heart.
Yes.
So,
child of God.
That is
That's
really
what he calls
cool.
us to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is I think it's incredible. You see all the different bands, not just these guys that are still around, that still play.
Yeah.
But to have that, I love watching the interviews and things where they they talk about, how the fans have changed,
yeah.
with them, and it's
and they love
now
their
moms
fans.
with their kids. Yeah, it's
last concert I was at, so they call their fans blockheads. So I don't refer to myself as that, thank you. But anyway, the last concert I was at, I don't know what was going on, but the new kid stopped the concert because like on the first railing in the stadium was I would say a woman in her 40s with, I'm pretty sure her dad in his 60s, who had his shirt off and had written I love Donnie on his chest. And he just did that for his daughter.
Well,
but
and he loves Blue Bloods.
Actually, you're probably right. But they stopped the concert and they were like, can we get a spotlight on this guy so everybody can see what we're seeing right now?
That's amazing.
And that's what I'm just saying. It's always it's just fun. It's simple, honest, silly fun, and we need more of that in our lives.
Yeah, you can be Catholic and do all that. Just for those listening, you're trying to convert. This is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
In the world, but none of it.
And the Wahlbergs are Catholic.
I was just gonna say Donnie and Mark.
I literally pray the rosary with Mark Wahlberg probably 3 to 4 times a week on the Hallow app. So I feel like I know him just by hearing his voice through the Hail Mary. So we're very, very much on board with the
There's
Wahlbergs.
a Wahlberg at the Catholic Media Association as one of the guest speakers this week. So
Really?
his brother
Mike,
that had the big conversion.
You are also
in
the Wahlberg circle.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, it has been amazing, hostful, I would say.
I agree. This was
Mike,
fun.
you'd be proud.
You will be proud. Mike, maybe we'll do a hostful when you're here.
We'll talk about it.
Well, we'll have to pause
it.
You can't do a hostful so much. So,
That's true.
Mike, I don't know when you're going to get a chance. Sorry.
Well, because this is probably my last one, he'll just fill it for this month because I did this and he's gonna.
Please don't fire Mike.
Yeah. Suddenly,
One
I'm not
Mike
on
for
anymore.
another.
Yes.
Well,
thank you.
thanks everybody for listening, and tune in next week for the next Talking Catholic.
God bless.
Goodbye.